Yeah. It's going down. Oh, man. Listen, if you don't live in the Middle East, you're going to really love this episode. Because there's going to be a lot to learn. If you do live in the Middle East, get the fuck out of there. What are you doing, man? Get the hell out of here like Nima did. You know what I'm saying? Come over here. I'll show you how to get some money. Let's go. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Victory Talk Podcast. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, BBC, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, the Southside Savior. All right. And this is episode 209 of the Victory Talk Podcast. You know what it is, man. We got a lot we want to cover today, man. We're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening in the Middle East, but I'm not going to talk about it the way everyone else is talking about it. Like, oh, Israel, Iran, genocide, war. I'm going to talk about like, yo, how do we get some motherfucking money off this shit? Because we can't do nothing about it. Like I always think it's not funny, but when motherfuckers be on, they want to like speak out against something. I'm like, motherfucker, nobody who's making policy decisions is listening to your goofy ass. You know what I'm saying? I seen this one influencer, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, man, I spoke out against Israel and I got all this bad stuff happening to me. I was like, yeah, nigga, and you accomplished nothing. Right? Benjamin Netanyahu was not watching your live stream, making policy decisions. Man, let me see what this motherfucker in Las Vegas has to say about it. Don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? What we need to worry about is what we can control. We cannot control outside circumstances. We cannot control other people. Nobody watching this is making policy decisions. Right? So what we need to do is control what we can control. And that is how much money we can make off this conflict. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I'm not pro-conflict. Jesus, I'm not Ted Cruz, right? You know, I'm not pro-conflict. I'd rather we had peace. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather we had peace, man. Spread love, you know? But if we can't spread love, let's get some money. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. It's what it is. That's just what it is. And there's conflict. There's going to be more of it. I'm going to break it down. This shit is a lot deeper than you think. You know what I'm saying? This shit is a lot deeper than it's deeper than you think, but it's also simpler than you think. Cause some of y'all not old enough to understand this. Y'all ain't seen, I seen this shit before. You know what I'm saying? I seen this shit before. It's called Operation Desert Storm. You know what I'm saying? Then I saw it again in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Right? It's the same fucking shit all over again. I'll break it down, but I'm gonna show you how to make money off of it, because the same way You would have made money off it. You gonna make money off it this time. It's the same way everybody made money off it last time. And make no mistake, motherfuckers get rich off of war. Motherfuckers get rich off of war. Why not you? Why not you? Nima, you ready to get rich off some war?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. You American now. That's the American way. That's the American way.
I always loved money, and that's why I came here. Yeah.
We have to get rich off this war. Hey, before we do that, I need to get rich off my sponsors. And I'm sponsored myself, man. I got a free ebook. This episode of Victory Talk Podcast is brought to you by the ebook 10 Commandments of Online Training. Yeah, links in the description. This is the ebook that'll show you how to grow your online fitness business, even if you don't have a big following, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a lot of experience. It's 100% free. Click the link in the description, and it'll really give you a breakdown of how to, make money as an online trainer. That's how I made my first $1 million, right? And I've taught over 15,000 people how to do it. All right, show you how to grow your following online, right? Show you how to convert that following into clients, right? And it's going to show you how to actually train those clients so they get great results. All right, 100% free. The link is in the description. All right. This episode is also brought to you by Thought Repellent. Thought Repellent is the easy to apply spray that keeps the hose away. All right. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money today. All right. And I'm going to show you how to get ripped. So imagine a world where you ain't fat no more and you got a lot of money. That's what this episode is going to do for you. But what's going to happen then? A lot of women going to be attracted to you, right? You won't have to rizz up bitches no more. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfucker was asking me, I was live on Instagram. Some motherfucker was like, yo, man, what's your favorite pickup line? I'm like, what? If you me, you just say hi. You know what I'm saying? Sup, ho? You know what I'm saying? Maybe not ho, right? But it's like, yo, man, you fucking get, if you rich and ripped, you know how many of those there are? Not many, right? That's what I want you to be. And when you have that, the bitches will come to you. But some of them are awful people. Yeah. Despite what the liberal media tell you, some women are awful. They're called thoughts, right? And this was genetically engineered to keep those women away. Only those women. Good women, they'll be like, man, you smell delicious. But these thoughts, hoes, skeezers, sluts, skanks, scallywags, Jezebels, hood rats, they won't even be able to get close to you because you got the thought repellent. All right. Now, we crowdfunding this. All of your super chat dollars go towards the development of thought repellent. We're going to have this out by back to school season, right? Because you're going to be going back to school, right? And you don't want the thoughts to throw you off your game. Now you got a chick pregnant in college. You don't want that. So we're going to have this out for the children for back to school season if we get enough super chats. I think that there are 2 heroes who have already contributed to the fund. I think let's acknowledge you brothers. What the fuck? You sound like an alien.
That was something I felt. All right, we have Nav saying that his favorite new song is by Ye and HH.
Oh no, that's hey, Nav, you a wild boy. I stopped listening to Kanye West after Beautiful, Dark, Twisted Fantasy, which is the best rap album to ever come out, but it's been all downhill since then. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm glad you found something you enjoy. I can't stand behind that. I got a lot of Jewish friends. You know? What else we got?
We have Leo, yo Unc, peace or money, hashtag thought repellent.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Is that a question?
Nope.
That's a statement. Peace or money, either one. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, yo, I'll take either one. I'll take either one. Somebody asked me the other day. It was on the gram when I did them things. They asked me a question. So I was like, yo, is Miami safe? I'm like, it's safe for me. It's safe for me. It's safe if you the Black John Wick. It's safe. Jamal Wick. You know what I'm saying? I ain't met a situation I couldn't shoot my way out of, right? So I'm down. I'm down for whatever. What else we got?
We have Infinite Drugs.
Okay, good name. Good name.
I got
That's a good
diagnosed.
name for a band, like a rock band. Yeah, I like it.
I got diagnosed with bipolar 1 in 2023. Ever since then, you and Kanye West have been my role models for good mental health.
I need to take a photograph of this. Yeah. Well, first of all, brother, shout out to you, man. You know, good luck with the illness. Keep that shit at bay, you know. I like to believe that me and Kanye West is a wide spectrum. And I'd like to believe we're at opposite ends of the spectrum. But then again, that's just my perspective, you know. Like if you got some value from Kanye, then for good mental health. Oh fuck. All right, man. Shout out to you, Infinite Drugs. What else we got?
I mean, with that name. All right. We have Alexis. Just joined the program. What's a courageous question I can ask myself to succeed in the program and become one of your top students?
You want to be top students, you know. All right. If you had to make $10,000 this month, this is what I asked. If you had to make $10,000 this month, like let's say somebody kidnapped one of your family members, put the burner to their head and said, "Hey, asshole, you got to make $10,000 a month from your online fitness business. But here's the thing. You can't negate any of your responsibilities, work, family, or sleep. You can't negate your health too. But you got to make $10,000 a month." What would that look like? Could you, first of all, could you do it? Could you do it? You had to do, could you do it? Would you be able to do it? Right? Yeah, you probably would. All right. So that means you can do it. Right? Under the right circumstances. So what would that look like? Ask yourself, what would that look like? Right? Remember, you still got to sleep, you still got to work out, you still got to take care of your health, you still got to, if you got a job, you got to work, you got to fulfill your responsibilities. You still, if you got kids, you still got to spend time with your kids, right? What do you have to give? You probably have to give up a lot of the bullshit, a lot of the other shit, you know? You probably have to not go to every movie. You probably won't be able to watch the NBA finals. You know what I'm saying? You probably have to stop gooning so much, you know? All types of shit, right? And then, you know, and implement that, you know? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Also, you can also say, man, what would Brandon do? You know? Depending on how well you know me, right? But ask yourself, what would you do? You know what I'm saying? I think that's good too. All right, we got another one from.
We have that thing. This person is back. Had my first
full name. What's the full name?
It looks like a matrix picture in that thumbnail, that main picture.
All right.
This person says, had my first sales call today from my marketing agency. Drafted a proposal. Ain't closed yet, but I will. Can I just show up for a Q&A with you in HTT?
Oh, it don't work like that, homie. It don't work like that, player. But shout out to you, man. Good. Shout out to you. Let's keep it going, man. You know, the thing is, you definitely want to make sure every time somebody's tripping over one prospect, you know what? Okay, two things. One, I'm gonna do a YouTube Q&A tomorrow night. You might need that set up, like just me. I'm tomorrow night. I'm gonna go live on YouTube, and it's just gonna be all Q&A, so you can show up to that. That's gonna be free. All right, you can't show up to HTT, man. It's kind of elite over there. We just don't let motherfuckers in, you know. I can't be devaluing the group like that. But you know, I'm up tomorrow night. I'm gonna be live on YouTube answering some questions for a few hours. Maybe I'll go on a little earlier. What you think? I'll let you know. I'll be on at 7. I don't know if it's gonna start before or after 7. It probably might start before, All right. But here's the thing, bro. If you tripping over one prospect, that means you ain't got a lot of you ain't got enough prospects, right? One shouldn't be that important to you, where like you tripping over it, you spending money to ask me questions about it, right? Like I'm not, and I appreciate it, but it's like that just shows me that you're not prospecting enough, where you high volume, and that way you're not tripping over one particular sale, whether you get into that. That's a key in sales, right? Because if everything depends on one sale, then it makes it difficult. All right, is that it? All right, you guys want to learn how to make some money off this motherfucking war? You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's in HTT. Oh, well then pull up. Yeah, man, you'll be on Tuesday, homie. Let's go. I see you on Tuesday, 8 p.m., 11 p.m. Let's get it.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. for sure. Eastern Standard Time. The world runs on Eastern Standard Time. Hey guys, you want to learn how to get some money? Let's talk about it. Let's get it. Big surprise, there's conflict in the Middle East. Who'd have thought? I'm going to tell you can make some money off of it. Now, here's the thing. I know that might sound like it's not compassionate, but the truth is there's nothing me or you can do about it to prevent it. There's nothing me or you can do to change what's happening either way. So we might as well make some money off of it. Right now, here's the thing. I hear a lot of people talking about, should the United States get into this conflict or not? Why should we be defending Israel? Why not let them fight their own battles? Or I hear the contrary too, that the United States need to protect Israel. I hear all that. That's not even what this shit is about. This shit is deeper than that. I'm explaining how deep I'm explaining to you. This shit is deeper than that, but it's also simpler than that. I'm going to explain to you some background of this conflict, why it's happening, what's going to happen, and how you can make money off of it. But we need to go back. But to explain this shit, we really need to go back. We need to go back to 1971. 1971. We had a president called Richard Nixon. Now, before Nixon became president, the dollar was backed by something called the gold standard, meaning that every US dollar was backed up by gold. It was in the Federal Reserve. Right? But our allies and other governments kind of knew that we were printing more money than we had gold, that we was out here bullshitting, making shit up. And then Nixon was like, you know what? Fuck it. We is making shit up. We ain't fucking with the gold standard no more. Nixon took us off the gold standard. But here's what happened. The money got to be backed by something. So what happened? So later on in the 70s, the US made deals with Saudi Arabia and other OPEC nations, oil producing nations in the Middle East. And the deal was that they would price oil exclusively. They would price and exchange oil exclusively in US dollars in exchange for military protection and some weapons, arms sales. And this created a bigger demand for US dollars, reinforcing the US dollar stance as the world's reserve currency. So to make this clear, we're not backed by gold anymore, thanks to Nixon. Now the demand for gold, the demand for US dollars, the reason the dollar is so strong and we are the world's reserve currency is because oil is exchanged in US dollars. Remember this. Now here's the thing. Every once in a while, one of these oil nations gets the idea that they want to start trading oil in other currencies. Fuck, we need dollars for. And every time that happens, they get fucked up. For example, in the 2000s, Saddam Hussein decided he wanted to switch to start trading oils in euros. You see what happened? You see what happened then? You see, you know what happened to Saddam Hussein after that? Yeah. The Bush administration made up some lies about them having weapons of mass destruction. They got Benjamin Netanyahu came through saying, man, he said there's no doubt that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Benjamin Netanyahu came to America and said there's no doubt that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Matter of fact, let me find this shit, because yeah. That was straight up bullshit. Straight up bullshit. It was just an excuse to go fuck them up because they were trying to do what? They were trying to trade oil in something other than the US dollars. They got fucked up for it. All right. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This was in 2003. But Saddam wasn't the only motherfucker to try to do this shit. Umar Gaddafi tried to pull the same bullshit. He decided that he was going to start trading oil and some other shit. He tried to what does motherfucker try to do? Yeah, some African shit. He wanted to trade oil and some African shit. You know what happened to him? Yeah, the US and NATO launched a military intervention, no-fly zone, backed some fucking rebels that wanted to fuck Gaddafi up. He was murdered. They smoked that motherfucker. And then Libya kind of descended into chaos. All right. The plans for that African currency that they wanted to exchange oil those plans were scrapped. Venezuela announced that they was going to start trading oil in some other than the dollar as well. They were going to trade it in some shit called Petro. It was like a state-backed cryptocurrency or some bullshit, right? So what happened? U.S. imposed strict sanctions on Venezuela, freezing their assets, and then they backed the opposition that the rebel opposition that went against them. Venezuela's whole economy fucking collapsed. And we didn't go to war with them, but their whole shit is fucked up. It's like one of the worst countries on earth right now. Syria in 2006 signed a deal with Iran to trade oil outside of the dollar system. Next thing you know, U.S. starts backing a civil war. The opposing force, the U.S. starts backing the opposing forces of the civil war they had there. Right? Every time motherfuckers start trading dollars and something, every time motherfuckers start trading oil and something other than dollars, seems like fucking civil war breaks out. The rebel forces get a bunch of U.S. guns, missiles and shit. Leaders get killed. Russia. This is where it gets kind of interesting. Russia has a lot of fucking oil. I don't know if y'all know that, right? Russia has a shitload of oil. Russia's one of the biggest countries in the world. It's the only country that's on 2 continents. It's so fucking big. It's on Asia and Europe. It's huge. A lot of fucking oil over there. All right. In 2014, Russia began selling oil and gas and motherfucking rubies and euros and wine, all types of shit that ain't US dollars. US imposed massive sanctions on these motherfuckers. They said it was because they invaded Crimea and all this other shit, you know. But it was about that oil, them oil dollars, man. Fuck what you talking about, right? And there's so many sanctions on Russia, so many sanctions on Russia. Just today, at the time of this recording, Russian economists said that they are on the brink of a severe recession. Their economy is shit, bro. It's a huge country and their economy is shit. The GDP of Russia, fact check this for me. The GDP of Russia is less than the motherfucking value of Apple computers, like one American company. Yeah, the fucking there is the sanctions are fucking them up. Their GDP is $2 trillion. To put that in perspective, the GDP of the state of Florida is 1.4 trillion. You get what I'm saying? Like their economy is shit because of these sanctions, you know? And but not only is the sanctions, America, you think America really gives a fuck about Ukraine? No, man. These motherfuckers is out here trying to trade oil and some other shit that ain't US dollars. So they give a bunch of money to Ukraine. Fuck you think this shit is for? This shit is mad simple. Each and every time a country that's has some oil wants to trade their oil in something other than US dollars, they gonna get fucked up. What does that have to do with Iran versus Israel? Well, for a long time, Iran has tried to sell oil in motherfucking euros, yuan, yang, euros, and all types of other shit. And we sanctioned them. We imposed economic sanctions and some military threats. Right? But guess what? But that ain't enough. Iran has a lot of oil, right? So what do you think they doing? They pulling the same shit they pulled in the early 2000. They pulling the same shit we pulled in 2003. Netanyahu is saying these motherfuckers got nuclear weapons. Same shit he said about Saddam Hussein, which was a fucking lie. He's now saying, yo, these motherfuckers got nuclear weapons. Now motherfuckers want to go bomb them, right? And even if United States doesn't get involved directly, we already giving hella money to Israel to fight them. Same shit we doing in Ukraine to fight Russia. Proxy war. Same shit we did in Libya against Gaddafi, right? We didn't go out and just fight the nigga, right? We gave his opposition mad money and guns. Same shit we did in Venezuela. We wasn't out there troops on the ground in Venezuela. We was giving mad guns and shit to the Venezuelan opposition. But the thing is, Iran's a formidable opponent, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about oil. It ain't about the chosen people. I'm not. Anytime you say anything against Israel, I'm not saying anything against Israel. I'm not saying this is good or bad. All I'm saying is these motherfuckers are trying to trade oil in something other than the dollars. And historically, every time that shit happens, your country's going to get bombed and fucked up. Historically, every time. Every time that happens, that's what's happening now. Because for United States to maintain its superiority in the world, we have the dollar has to remain the world's reserve currency. And the only way it can do that is if all oil is traded in US dollars. Anytime that is threatened, there will be fucking bombs dropped. That's the only thing this is about. It's only about that. That's it. For the United States, right? I'm not going to get into what Israel's doing. Like, I ain't saying this is good or bad. I don't want y'all to label me as no fucking, like I'm also, I don't want to get, I got Jewish friends. They cool as fuck. I got Iranian friends. They cool as fuck. What up, Nima? I'm looking at one. He's from Iran. I bought all my watches and diamonds from my Jewish homies. I was at a Jewish wedding. I was going to wear one of them tiny hats and shit, but I couldn't get it to stick on my head because I'm bald. They was clipping it on their hair. I was like, damn, I ain't got no adhesive to stick that shit on me. That should have been sliding off. I feel like it'd have been more disrespectful. I said, so it ain't this ain't about no race, no religion, no ethnicity. This is all about oil being traded in US dollars. All right. So if you ever wonder, man, why the fuck is the United States getting involved in all this bullshit over here? Because these just find out if that country is trying to trade oil in something other than dollars. That's it. Okay. How do we get some motherfucking bread off this shit? How do we make some money off this shit? Right? We might as well. It's going to happen. Nothing you can do to stop it. They going to do everything they can to make sure the dollar is the world's reserve currency. It doesn't matter how many people have to die. It doesn't matter how many Americans have to die, how many Americans foreigners have to die. They will stop at nothing. You see what happened to Saddam Hussein. This motherfucker did not do Saddam Hussein ain't do 9/11. Saddam Hussein ain't even have no weapons of mass destruction. It was all bullshit. He was trying to trade oil and some shit that wasn't dollars, and he fucking paid for it. This is happening. Right. The only way this is not happening is if you read a headline about Iran only trading oil in US dollars. That's the only thing that'll stop this shit. I promise you. All right. That is the only thing to stop this shit. So, hey, how do we make some money off it? So there's the best way to do is in the stock market, right? Because, Dick Cheney, during the Iraq War, Dick Cheney, he used to be the CEO of a company called Halliburton before he was vice president. I don't know. Halliburton, they make weapons and shit, defense contracts and shit. I don't know how that qualifies you to be vice president. I'm not a politician, but whatever. So Dick Cheney, and he was super adamant about this war. Right, he had a lot of stock options in Halliburton, and he was still getting paid by Halliburton when they went to war. Right, his stock options. Let me make sure I say this right. The estimate on his stock options that he was given at Halliburton, if I'm not mistaken, I just want to make sure I say this right. Yeah, his stock options went up about 3,000% because of the war. That's a pretty good return. This motherfucker outdid Warren Buffett. He just had to kill a bunch of fucking foreigners and Americans and start a fucking bullshit war, and he got paid. Hey, we can't stop the war. We might as well get paid. All right, here's my picks. You too can buy stock options and make money off this war. So there's a company called Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, they make missile systems. They make F-35 fighter jets and shit. Let's look at this chart. This one hasn't really blown up yet, you know what I'm saying? But it's down year to date. You can still get them. When this war really starts to pop off, and it will, It will. They've been trying to get this shit popping forever. They're going to blow up. I really believe they're going to do really well. All right. Then you have, not only that, we have a company called RTX. They make the Patriot missile and air defense systems. All right. They're also publicly traded. So if you want to fuck with some of them, this one is doing real well, right? So over the last year, this is up 40%. God damn, the average return on the US stock market is only 10% on average. This motherfucker in the last 5 months. No, this is 1 year. Let's see what it is year to date. God damn, in the last 5 months, this shit is up 26%. Hey, man, I think it's going even higher because the bombs just started dropping. You think they about to stop? Come on, man. You seen Ted Cruz on talking to fucking Tucker? He didn't even know what he's talking about. All he knew was he wanted some war. That's all he knew. He didn't know how many people was in Iran. He didn't know shit about that country. He just said, man, I just want some war. Hey, I don't want war for the record, but if there's going to be war, might as well make some money. All right. Another thing you can pick is, remember, this whole shit is about oil and dollars. So we might as well start fucking with some oil, right? So hold on, let me bring it up. You can buy oil futures, all right? Futures contract. Right. Over the last month, crude oil futures have went up 18%. Time just recorded. Right. I think that's a good buy, man. Get yourself some crude oil futures. You can buy futures on Robinhood futures contract. All right. Another one, if you want to be more conservative, you can just buy the aerospace and defense ETF. Right. And this is ITA. Year to date, this shit is up what? This shit is up 20% year to date. I'm fucking with it. If you want to get even crazier, there's an ETF that's 3x levered, meaning for every percent it goes up, you get like 3x return. This is ticker symbol. What is this? DFEN. This shit is going crazy. Year to date, this shit is up 63%. Come on, man. If we get a nice dip on this, I might buy some motherfucking, I might buy options on it. That's a lot of leverage. So this is 3x leverage. Then I'm gonna buy options, which is leveraged, using leverage. I'm gonna be super leveraged on that shit. Then you want to fuck with some other oil shit. This is with the energy. This is this is this is the ETF that tracks the energy sector, right? So this one is still got a ways to go. It's not doing crazy this year, but I think this one is ready to go. It's ready to go. Or you can just fuck with Exxon Mobil. Right, the oil prices are going to, if oil prices keep shooting up, because let's just look at it. Right, this is oil futures, right? This is oil futures, which meaning they're, when you buy futures, you're betting that in the future shit is going to be better, right? And if oil prices go up, man, Exxon should do pretty well, right? Also gold. I've been talking about gold futures for a long time. I told y'all I was buying gold futures, man, long ago. If you look up, you know what I'm saying, gold for the last 6 months, gold is up almost 30%. These are gold futures. If you don't want to buy futures contracts, if you don't even understand, you could just buy the ETF, the gold ETF, GLD. That's up 26% year to date. And this is how we're going to make money off this shit. You can pick some of your favorite ones, whatever you like. Dollar cost averaging this shit. This shit is happening, guys. This shit is fucking happening. The only way it won't happen is if you hear Iran say, hey, you know what? We just want to start trading oil in exclusively US dollars again. But I think, and until they do that, man, then we're gonna go to war about it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the exact same playbook we saw in the Iraq War. Benjamin Netanyahu said that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Bush and all the motherfuckers decided, hey, we need to go invade. That's what's happening right now. That is same. It's the same playbook. It's the same playbook. Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying for decades, since the 90s, Benjamin has been saying that Iran is weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. He's been saying this shit for decades. It's all about oil being traded for dollars. All right. This is happening. All right. Let's get some money while it happens. All right. And let's just hope. Let's just hope the conflict doesn't come to the mainland. Doesn't come to the U.S. shores, because I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready for it. Hey, tell me what your favorite investment vehicle is to profit off a war. Leave it in the comments. And if you don't have any money to invest, you need to make some money, bro. I got a free ebook for you called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. It shows you exactly how to grow your online fitness business, even if you don't have a big following, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a lot of experience. I made my first $1 million as an online trainer. I've taught over 15,000 people how to grow their online fitness businesses. I'm gonna show you for free in that book. Click the link in the description and check it out. All right, let's go. We got a super chat, or you know what? We got Greg here. Young Candlestick is here. Let's get it, man. Market update. Yo, what up, Greg? What up? You muted, homie. We can't hear you.
Brandon, you did a pretty good market update already. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Greg, I think your mic is not connected.
Oh.
Yeah, we hear the room. It don't sound like you're talking to the mic. Just check to see what mic you're using. You got this, man. We all believe in you. We think we believe you. Let's go. You good? You got this, Greg. You got this. Let us know. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Sound.
Huh?
Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah, it's fine. Let's go. Let's get.
All
You
right.
did it, man. You did it. Let's go.
You were covering a lot of really good stuff about oil. This is the chart of crude oil futures, and they
Come on,
are
man.
currently. And there's so many ways to profit from it. You can just buy /CL. You can buy MCL, which is the micro futures on oil. My favorite way, if I'm going to take a trade on oil, is actually through USO. And you can actually trade options on this. And you can actually go out all the way to 2027. And let's say you think oil's just going to spike like crazy. You can just go and like buy something like the 100 strike call 2027. It's going to cost about $800. But if oil spikes, if things escalate, that can turn into quite a bit of money. And again, none of this is financial advice. You guys know the drill.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of stuff going on in the market. We got the Fed, we've got war, and the S&P really just isn't going anywhere. It's just kind of chopping near these highs. And this is really difficult for trend traders or directional traders. So most traders, they need something to go up a lot or down a lot to make money. But if you actually understand the options world, you can make money if you say, I don't think it's going to go up a lot, or I don't think it's going to go down a lot. That would be something like an iron condor. So really in this market environment, option sellers are the big winners. And if the market starts to break these supports, we have a lot of space to the downside. The market could drop 3 to 5%. And so I do think that it will hold support if it does drop, if the war escalates. Okay. And Brandon, you were talking about a lot of different names. Lockheed Martin, wait for a lot of these triggers. Like Lockheed Martin, if you see it breaking above 482, it's likely going to go higher, especially if it gets a breakout on volume. So volume's the next key with all of these defense names. Okay, that tells you that shit's going down. If there's no volume, it can just chop and flop back and forth. Okay, ITA, Brandon, you brought this up. really, really strong trend. It's a little bit overbought, but if it starts to break out over, 182, then it could start to continue to make all.
That looks like a high base. That looks like a high base to me.
Yeah, it's a moderately high base, and so if it breaks out above that level, I'll get an alert and I'll see if it, is likely to go up. And guess what? When you're taking buy trades or long trades, the general rule of thumb is you want to buy a break of resistance, so that's something like that, or you want to, buy a dip into support. So the prior support on ITA is 160. If there's a big market correction and ITA sells off, this is a great value area to potentially load up on shares or call options. And so, Brandon, you also brought up DFEN. DFEN. Yeah, if DFEN can come back, that's just a triple levered way. You don't want to hold on to this for a long period of time because it tends to go through decay. But, it's something good for a day trade or a swing trade, something like that. Palantir, we took really good profits on Palantir the other day, right at all-time highs. Palantir forecast is neutral/bullish. If the overall market does start to sell, a lot of these stocks can indeed sell. And you can also look at other defensive names. It's not going to be as sexy, but something like XLU, the utility sector, kind of sitting at support right now. What I'm looking at to trade the XLU is maybe buy a half position size right here. And then if it starts to break out to all-time highs, average up, I buy more at a higher price, and then you have a good position into all-time highs. So that's XLU. That's a defensive sector. XLV is the healthcare sector. That tends to be a defensive sector. Right now, one of the stocks that's been getting beaten down heavily is UNH. And United Healthcare, its fair value is $540 per share. So I'm not saying that the stock is going to double from here, but even if it goes halfway to that point, that's a pretty good chunk of change. I would target something like 380 by the end of the year for UNH stock. Another defensive name is Coke. If this could sell off a little bit more, you could maybe sell some puts on Coke.
Is there a reason why it's selling so much?
It's just out of rotation right now. People aren't interested in it. That's my biggest guess. Volume's kind of just neutral. It doesn't have a lot of eyes on it. Broke support, but Coke tends to just stabilize, and fixed income tends to do well. So you could, during like times where the market's kind of in a bit of turmoil, if you want the dividend version of SPY, SPYD, that's the dividend version of SPY. Energy Transfer. This is a good stable dividend stock. And Brandon, you brought up XLE. That's going to give you some oil exposure, and you're going to get a dividend. So there's so many different ways to play this market. We took profits on UNG just yesterday, natural gas. That's another thing that can be affected by war. I think that UNG can be wheeled. So you can sell cash secured puts, get a sign, sell covered calls. It's a great ETF to do that on. And we've made a ton of money over the past 3 years on UNG, just wheeling it. You don't even have to pick your entries or exits that carefully. One last short-term trade that might be setting up tomorrow. This isn't really war related, but I am liking this high base on Snowflake stock. And so that would trigger long over something like 214. Stop would go underneath 205. And you'd look to see if you can get something like 220 to 230 out of that.
What do they do?
Yeah, Snowflake. I have to double check, but Warren Buffett likes this one. Snowflake, cloud-based data platform.
Oh, okay.
Yep, cloud-based data platform. Another stock similar in that sector is Cloudflare. That's starting to break out.
Oh, yeah.
Full disclosure, I am long on this stock already on Net. So I'm long on that. One. I'm also long on CrowdStrike.
I was about to ask you about CrowdStrike.
I'm looking to average up on this. So cybersecurity is going to be another simple way to play this. Yeah.
Cybersecurity is going to be really big because a lot of it ain't just bombs.
I know.
It ain't just bombs. Like they're doing a lot of cyber shit, especially because Russia's on the side of Iran, right? And Russia fuck with that cyber shit,
Yeah, I mean, it can be just as scary as an actual physical missile if the banking system goes out. That'd be wild.
Motherfucking air traffic control stops.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways to play this market. I actually took profits on silver the other day. It was getting a little bit overheated, but if silver could come back, SLV, down to this 31 to 30 area, I'm going to rebuy my leap calls on SLV. Gold is still kind of consolidating right now, but you can just simply set some price alerts at all-time highs. We've kind of made some higher lows. Set some price alerts. I'll be day trading futures, GC, MGC. I'll be buying gold calls if we break above those all-time highs at 317.63. So those are the main plays that you can use to potentially profit off of war. Stay nimble. Watch the volume for confirmation. If you're in the Discord, tag at Young Candlestick, and I can give you some free market analysis in the trading chat.
Well, let me ask you a question. I got a question. If you got questions for Young Candlestick, man, you leave a super chat and we'll answer it. Here's this: the Bitcoin, it seems to be holding above 100.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think about the ETF IBIT selling covered calls? Like not covered, not covered calls. Selling cash secure puts, right? You probably fucking pay. You'll probably pay, man.
Oh yeah, it really depends on how long you're willing to hold it. If you're going to hold it forever, yeah, you could do it as soon as tomorrow. If your time horizon's like 1 to 2 weeks, you'd kind of want to just wait for a little bit more selling. That's just like the trader in me trying to get a better deal. But if the longer your time horizon, the shorter term that you can wheel it. You don't need to pick your entry as well. But yeah, I like it. I like Bitcoin. I'm not like a load the boat type of crypto dude.
Yeah.
I just have like 2% of my portfolio in IBIT. Not a big deal.
But I think that's a good candidate for the wheel because it's cheaper than SPY, right? And it's almost like the SPY of crypto,
Yep. Oh yeah, it's the S&P 500 for crypto world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like I was thinking about this the other day. Why don't people wheel IBIT?
Some people do, and they make good cash. Some people do. I would look at the July 11th expiration and just maybe look at selling something like the 56 strike cash secured put. It's going to take about $5,600 in buying power. You get a guaranteed, I'm telling you this, a guaranteed $107 profit, but you have to commit to buying 100 shares at 56. Okay, so if it closes underneath that level, the broker will automatically buy it for you. Your average cost is going to be around $55 per share. But guess what? If you get assigned and you want to sell covered calls, you can then go and sell the 56 covered calls.
What about the weekly? What if I did it like for the?
It depends on. Yeah, so like you could get you just choose how much premium that you want. If you would only collect like $20 if you sold tomorrow's expiration, but if you commit to buying it 100 shares at $57.50, you'll get a guaranteed $20 bill. And if it's below that level, it'll automatically buy it for you. If it's above that level, it'll give you your $20 bill plus all of your cash back on Saturday.
When I'm selling cash secure puts, I like to get 1% on my money.
Okay.
Per week.
Hell yeah.
So you got to be more aggressive with that. Yeah.
What you can do is if you have Thinkorswim, you can type in return on risk and you apply that. And this ROR column tells you how much percent gain that you'd give. So I'll kind of highlight it over here. ROR. So if you sold the 59 strike cash secured put, you get 1.07%. It's kind of right at that 59 level right now. But if it just closes above that, boom, you just made a guaranteed $62 and you didn't even have to buy the shares. You can do the exact same thing on Monday, the next week expiration, and you can just keep doing that. And if you get assigned, no big deal. It's a great way to get paid to buy a stock that you like.
Yeah. Yeah. And you might not buy it. You just get the money. All right. Cool, man. HIMS.
Yeah. HIMS has been a really good trading stock lately. And we've made good money trading this. We traded this from 18 up to like 28. I should have held it for 72. I didn't expect it to do that. HIMS it's really building a really wide base. So this base ranges from 50 up to 65. The longer it can stay in this base, the more bullish this becomes. Okay. So if it can stay in that base for a while, a breakout over 65 could be good for longer term. I personally would like a dip buy near something like 35. HIMS is a tricky stock to evaluate. It depends on which analyst that you look at, but the fair value of HIMS stock is about $32 per share. And with it trading at 61, it does create a higher risk. However, it can carry a lot of momentum. They've got a good product, and if they can continue to grow, they can grow into their valuation, and the stock can break out. So it's a good day trading stock. We're just trapped in this range between 50 and 65. Wait for that range to break. Wait for the volume to break out. That tells you everybody's seeing this range start to break. Money's plowing into it. Boom, you can join the crowd and get in before everybody else does.
What are your thoughts on Google right now?
Oh man, Google, it's just so it's sucky short term, but it's good long term. It's really just range bound. Like I probably expect it to stay between 150 and like 185 for a few months. But longer term, I think Google's going to 240, 250, maybe even higher. They're getting into quantum computing, and if you can get a blue chip stock that's also getting into an up and coming sector, Google has the capital to actually like invest into quantum computing versus some of these other quantum computing stocks, RGTI, volatile. QUBT is another one, QUBT. And there's actually an ETF. I wish I had it off the top of my head, but QUBT, we've been wheeling this sometimes. The premiums are really high because it's so volatile, but yeah, quantum computing is the future.
Yo, last one, DoorDash.
Let's check it out. Oh, I like this one. Yeah. Graph goes from bottom left to top right. That tells you investors are getting rewarded for buying this stock. We have to assume that trend will continue until acted upon by an equal or opposite force. Not the best high base, but it's definitely not bad. It's got relative strength. A trade would just be probably buy over all-time highs. Stop goes underneath 215. Otherwise, if you're kind of just looking to invest in it, you can just do the dollar cost average, or there's some support at 205. That's my thoughts. Bullish, neutral / bullish is the forecast. All else being equal.
All right, sounds good, man. No questions for Greg, right? All right, yo, guys. If you guys, you know what? If you guys want to learn how to trade with us, join the Discord, and then hit up Greg and say, yo, in the Discord, say, yo, I want to join Victory Trades, and you'll get Greg's trade alerts straight to your phone every week, right? Yeah, but also you could trade futures with us. Right. And so I trade futures. I've been trading futures for like 5 years, and we trade live. And basically, this is yesterday. Well, you can trade today because it was Juneteenth, But so basically, I trade with a prop firm, and I have 20 accounts. Right. And with each one of these accounts, I have a trade copier. So when I trade on one, it triggers on all of them. And, so I made this is like $15,000 the other day. Yesterday.
That's amazing. And even the day prior, 20 grand. Day prior,
the day before 20 grand. Yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, I post it all the time. Post my wins.
I would say that you are now the most consistent futures trader that I know, Brandon. You ascended to that level.
I believe that.
Yes.
I believe that, man. Like I believe it. I got a system. It's just it's deceptively simple.
It is. I'm going to be doing it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Trading your system tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So guys, if you guys want to learn how to trade with us, trade with other people's money. If you got your own money, you want to learn to start flipping it with Greg's trade alerts, holler at us, man. Holler at Greg in the Discord and say you want to join. The Victory Trades. He'll put you in the right direction. All right.
I got you. Thanks for having me, Brandon.
No problem.
Happy Peace.
Thanks, man. Yo, before we get in this super chat, I'm black. Like I'm black. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Fucking black as hell. I don't think I had a conversation with a white person until I went to military school until I got sent away in high school. It's like high school was when I had my first conversation with a white. And then I went to Howard University, historically black college. I'm black. And I had never heard of Juneteenth until right when they made it a holiday. It was the first time I had heard of Juneteenth. I'm telling you, man, I've been black my whole life, black family, surrounded by black people, went to a black 90% black college. And I had never heard of Juneteenth, man. And but I think it's because I grew up in the North. I think it was a big deal in the South because when I did some research on it, I realized it was a bunch of basically the slaves had been free for like 2 years, and like somebody from a Union general came down to Texas like, hey man, y'all know y'all free, right? And he's like, oh shit, we free. And that's when they found out they was free 2 years later. And that was like a big deal, you know? And so, but maybe that wasn't a big deal because I grew up in Chicago. So from what I understand, like it got more recognition down South, and I grew up above the Mason-Dixon line, right? So like my whole life. So maybe it just wasn't a thing for us. You know, my ancestors, my descendants, we ain't wait for the white man to say we was free. My ancestors escaped with Harriet Tubman and them. Went up to the south side of Chicago. We inhabited that land. We escaped. We wasn't waiting for some white general to tell us we was free. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we just ain't know. we had been free. Anyway, I think we got a super chat. Shout out to all the niggas who stayed slaves for mad long until June 19th. You should have left with my cousins when Harriet came. What else we got?
We have Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Gave twice, and he says, man, I did a water fast for 62 hours and then broke fast with 2 eggs, and all was fine. But then later in the day, I had a massive hunger and I overate at the end, 3,500 calories. Feeling bad. No questions.
You'll be all right, man. He did a water fast for how long? God damn.
62 hours.
That's a long time. That's a long time. He almost made 3 days. Hey man, you probably looking ripped right now.
Nah, he fucked it up.
I don't think that's how much. 3,500 in 1 day. That's he ain't fuck up the whole 62 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like he might feel bad, but he's all right.
He could have done better.
Damn.
We have 3D level up. How do you manage to get a full body workout daily?
Oh man, I pick 1 or 2 exercises per body part, 4 sets of each. Time my rest between sets. That's basically it. One thing I do that's a little different is instead of working out for 1 hour, I'll break it up into 2 30-minute sessions or sometimes 3 20-minute sessions. I just find that way better in general. I really, every once in a while, some dumbass says, "Oh man, you'd work yourself harder if you fucking did it for a whole hour." Like, what the? God damn, you people are fucking stupid. Every time I hear that shit, it's like, yo, you people there's no version of reality that break. Yeah, you can just how you can run faster. Like if you had to run a mile, you could run at a with more intensity if you broke that mile up into 3 sections, right? You know what I'm saying? Like think about it. A mile, 4 times around the track, right? You can sprint around the track once. So let's say you sprint around the track once, take a break, then you can sprint around that motherfucker again. You can take a break, then spin around that. You can, right? But you're gonna have to pace yourself a little bit. You can't sprint a mile, right? So it's the same with my breaking up my training. I go super hard for 20 minutes, but I would have to pace myself a little bit if I was doing it for an hour. Just like If you had to run a mile, you would pace. If you had to run a mile all at once, you would have to pace yourself some, right? But you can sprint around once. I hope you motherfuckers are smart enough to understand that analogy. And this initially, when I was explaining it, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I'm just not articulating myself. But then I realized you motherfuckers are dumb. Some of you are like really dumb. And it's okay. It's not your fault. You can't really, IQ is kind of something you're born with, right? So it's just your genetic makeup, you know? But I think you guys get it. You know what I'm saying? All right. What else we got?
We have Infinite Drugs back. He says, how do you get a higher readiness score on the Oura Ring?
You know what, man? A lot of that can come from your because when you click on the readiness shit, it looks at your HRV, you know, and some things you can do to get your HRV. You can drink more water. You don't drink alcohol, shit like that. But I never look at my fucking readiness score. Like the only thing I care about with my Oura Ring, I don't even be looking to see how much I sleep unless my girl asks me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'd be forgetting that the ring does that. Like my main thing is I want to burn more calories. I want to see how many calories I'm burning. That's my main thing. You know, what this motherfucker said, this guy said you got to burn more, you got to warm up if you lift heavy, man, it's not a big deal, bro. Chill out. Motherfuckers really be majoring in the minors, man. Like motherfuckers really will major in the minors. All right, yo, I gotta urinate real bad. Just run the intro. So they know how much time. I'll be back I'm gonna pee within 1 minute. Yo, I'm back. Sorry, I had to urinate. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your patience. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all right. I know you guys want to get in good shape. You want to stay lean or get lean throughout the summer, maybe throughout your life. I stay lean all year round. You never see me fat. All right. And I'm gonna show you how, and I'm gonna show you the habits I use to do that. I stay lean all year round. You never see me fat. And it's because of the 5 habits I'm about to show you. These are the 5 habits I use to stay lean year round. Fucking single digit body fat. You can't curse in it. Single digit body fat, looking like the motherfucking Oscar statue year round. And I'm gonna show you how to do it too. And the last one is the most important one because it has benefits that go way beyond just getting ripped. It'll help you in all facets of life. If you fuck up any one of these, then you're gonna continue this fucking yo-yo shit where your ass is getting fat sometimes and you have to diet, then you get fat again and you have to diet, and you're gonna keep up this goddamn charade indefinitely. You're gonna have a pair of fat jeans and then your fucking regular jeans. Then when you get, but you can't throw away the fat jeans because you're gonna be fat again next year as usual. Then you have fat ass kids. They ain't gonna be good at sports. Motherfuckers having asthma attacks on the basketball court because they got to carry around all that fat they inherited from you. If you a fat man, you're gonna marry a fat girl. And that's probably fine if you're black, because every black guy I know got a girlfriend that weighs more than him. But you want to at least have the option to not have to exclusively have sex with overweight women. And you don't want to, and some of you women watching, you don't want to just be an overweight woman. And now you have to only date black guys. So I'm trying to empower you, fat girl. This way you can fuck any type of guy because you're not too fat. What do you say? You said fat will 100 times the first. So here's the habits I use to not be as fat as you and stay lean, single digit body fat year round. Number one, you got to track your calories. So I keep a little food scale with me everywhere I go. I'll be at restaurants, some of the best restaurants in the world, and I'll break out my food scale. You know, I keep it in one of my little sling bags right next to the blick. And I weigh everything I eat. Right? It sounds excessive, but you got to remember, man. You know what's excessive to me? The fact that 1,500 Americans die every day of obesity-related diseases. That's excessive. That's extreme. To put that in perspective, on 9/11, 3,000 Americans died. So it's really like a 9/11 every other day, but it happens so gradually that we don't pay as much attention to it. But motherfuckers is dying from being fat every day. 1,500 Americans. That's excessive to me, right? And some of you guys be like, man, I just don't want to do all that. You know, I don't want to track my calories. I don't want to track all my calories, man. It sounds like this is too difficult, blah, blah, blah. Yo, just put numbers in the phone, man. You sound like a bitch. You sound like a bitch. You know, you don't even have to keep a scale on you like me. I want to be more precise, right? But yo, there's been times the battery in my scale will die or something. I take a picture of my food, upload it to ChatGPT, and say, yo, estimate how many ounces this is. Then I put that into MyFitnessPal, right? And it's pretty accurate. It's pretty close. I've A/B tested it. It's not bad, right? So I track everything I eat in MyFitnessPal, right? And here's the reason why that's so important, because some of y'all fat right now, right? A lot of y'all fat right now. I mean, statistically, most of y'all fat right now. So here's a study done by Duke University. They took a bunch of fat boys and they say, hey, fat boy, all we want you to do is track your calories for 90 days. They ain't give him no diet plan. They didn't tell him, yo, you're going to do the keto diet. You're going to do pescatarian diet. You're going to be vegan. None of that shit. They didn't even have them in a caloric deficit. All they had them do was track their calories. And on average, they lost 5 pounds, over 5 pounds on average. Right. And they didn't even have a plan. The mere act of tracking their calories caused them to lose weight. Why? Because when you are tracking something, now you're more cognizant of what you're eating instead of just putting anything in your mouth like a whore. Right? Just eating anything like you indiscriminately, like you don't even give a fuck. You disgust me. Gross. Right? But when you start tracking, then you start making what? Better decisions. And here's another thing. Most people have no fucking idea how many calories they're eating or how many calories in their food. Like humans are really bad at making those kind of estimates. Like my girlfriend, she started tracking her calories at one point, and she had this big Dominican breakfast where she had the big ass bananas and salami and a bunch of other Dominican shit. You know, she's like, God damn, it's like 1,000 calorie breakfast. Oh yeah. 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 I had a lot of jokes. Yeah, it was like a joke overload. It just threw in my head. It's like too many tabs open and it just crashed. We're just gonna keep going. But that's most people. They have no idea how many calories they're eating, and that's why some people are so fat. Right? It's not that difficult. You don't even have to use a scale like me. Right? I need to be more precise. You can just start tracking your calories, man. I'm telling you. Right? This is if you did nothing else, tracking your calories. If you didn't watch anything else in this video, this alone will help you. Start tracking your calories. And it doesn't matter, even if you want to get bigger, right? Track your calories. If you want to put on muscle, track your calories, track your macros. Because otherwise, you are literally just fucking guessing. Just guessing. All right. I've been a trainer for over 25 years. And everyone who says, man, I tried everything, man. What do I need to do to get what I can't? I tried everything. And after they say they try everything, I say, have you tried tracking your calories? They say no. I'm like, motherfucker, you tried everything except the one thing that'll work. It's not that difficult, dumbass. Right? It's not that difficult. It's just putting numbers in a phone. You know what is difficult? Right? I see people doing shit that's real difficult. Right? Like I see motherfuckers hanging from the roof of my condo cleaning the windows like a Latino Spider-Man. That's difficult. Putting numbers in a phone is fucking easy, bro. Stop being a fucking bitch. All right. So that's the first thing you do. Start tracking your calories. Right? How many calories should you eat a day? Well, that really depends. We can go into that. We're going to go into that later in this video, but make sure you're tracking. Just as long as you're tracking. The studies show just tracking, not even having a goal, people started to lose weight. But now we need to start tracking how many calories we burn each day, right? Because the way fat loss works, if you want to lose fat, you have to burn more calories than you consume. You have to burn more calories than you consume. This is what's called being in a caloric deficit. All right. So if you have to burn more calories than you consume to lose fat, shouldn't you know how many calories you're burning? Right? Well, everybody knows you have to burn more calories than you consume, but nobody wants to fucking track how many calories they're consuming or how many calories they're burning. But we all agree that you have to burn more calories than you consume. Shouldn't you know the fucking numbers, dipshit? All right. So how do you know how many calories you burn these days? Get yourself some sort of fitness tracker. Right? You can use Whoop. I used to use the Whoop, but it looked kind of dorky. Or I would wear a suit with the Whoop on, and I felt like I was in Spy Kids or some shit. You know, it's like it's just too nerdy. So I switched to the Oura Ring. So now I use the Oura Ring, and this blends seamlessly into my attire. Right, the Apple Watch will do it. Fitbit is good. Is a good option. You could get a Samsung watch. The problem with getting a Samsung watch is it might be the nerdiest thing you can put on your body, right? It might be the nerdiest thing. Like if you wear a Samsung watch, I imagine those are the motherfuckers who are actually like buying porn. You know, motherfuckers who like got somebody's buying it. Somebody has a Pornhub Elite membership or some shit. Somebody's buying. They got to make money somehow, right? Somebody's buying the porn. That motherfucker has a Samsung watch. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee that, right? Because women aren't having sex with guys with Samsung watches. I think we can all agree on that. All right. So anyway, get yourself some fitness tracker that tracks the calories you burn each day. And then it's just math. It's really just math. So if I break, where's the hold on, let me find that thing. I want to show you something. One second. This ain't it. Okay. Oh. Wait 1 second, guys. All right. So boom. So let's say you're tracking how many calories you consume each day. Let's say you're going to consume 2,000 calories each day. 2,000. Dexter, I'm glad you're leaving, man. You's a nerd. Get the fuck out of here. I wish I could have blocked you, right? But we ain't got that technology to block a Samsung watch wearer. All right. Now I promise you, Dexter don't get no pussy, man. You can't. I never met a woman who's out here fucking guys with Samsung watches, man. Never. I don't know one. Nobody knows one. It doesn't happen. We have not seen it happen. Not. Anyway. Yo, that's how you know Samsung watch wearers are nerds, right? Because if somebody would have said, "Oh man, APs suck," and said, I wouldn't have cared. Like I don't give a fuck. But that Samsung one, that shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, yo, all right. Then you want to see how many calories you're burning each day, right? So let's say, now let's do some math. Let's say you want to burn a pound of fat a week. Every pound of fat you want to lose, you have to burn 3,500 calories, which means you have to burn 500 calories more than you consume each day. If you do that for 7 days in a row, that'd be 3,500 calories. You'll burn a pound of fat a week, right? So what we need to do, let's say, all right, man, so you want to burn 20. Let's say you burn in 2,500 each day, which is fucking light work. And it's nothing. Like you can do that without even trying. All right, boom. You see, do that every day, man. You burn 3,500 calories. You would have burned a pound of fat. Now, here's the thing: these fitness trackers, none of them are 100% accurate, right? So you might have to make adjustments, right? Let's say you do all this on paper. It says that you should have burned a pound of feet, and you don't. Then you might have to up the amount of calories you burn, and then make the adjustment and calibrate it based off your fitness tracker, and because none of them are 100% accurate. All right. But we just want to make sure we're in a range, and then we can adjust accordingly based off the data. Excuse me. But here's where people fuck up. Here's what people fuck up, right? They say, man, you know, I eat good most days, and when here's what this is like. Most days, let's say you ate good on day 1, right? But and even day 2, but then day 3, you know, you was like, oh man, I ate good 2 days in a row. One day won't hurt. That's what motherfuckers say. One day won't hurt. You know, everything in moderation. One day won't hurt. And then, then this is Friday, right? So maybe you after work, man, you go to the function. You go to the function and you out here. You have some extra sweets or some candies and cakes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the weekend, right? Maybe you go out again on the weekend, right? Damn. And then Sunday, man, maybe it's your kid's birthday party or some shit. You're like, all right, I can have some of the cake, right? And here's the thing, man. You ate good some days, right? But you still ended up doing nothing, right? You look at how many calories you burned. 0 total, right? Because you were in a surplus, a caloric surplus some days, you were in a deficit some days, so you ended up accomplishing nothing, right? Or it can happen with your workout too, right? That's why it sucks being inconsistent, because you end up accomplishing that. You do just enough to fail if you're inconsistent, right? You got to be consistent with this shit, all right? So track how many calories you burn and how many calories you consume. The third thing you need to do. Oh, but you also need to track it. That's not the third thing. You also need to track it. In fact, I have a tracker in here. It's a Notion template. It's 100% free. It's called the Victory Vision Planner, and you can actually start mapping this shit out the way I just did, but it's a little more advanced than what I did just now, right? And it's 100% free, because when you start tracking this shit, man, you will get way better results, all right? The third thing you need to do to stay ripped, stay in good shape, be around, is you need to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. All right. And I know your favorite YouTuber said, man, you only need that much fucking protein. You only need 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. The studies back that up. That's what the studies say. And that's where your favorite YouTuber got that shit from, right? But here's the thing. Those studies were done in controlled environments. We live in the real world. Right, the motherfuckers doing the studies, they was drinking out of beakers and shit. You know, motherfuckers with lab coats were giving them the food. Like, we live in the real world. And in the real world, the FDA allows food labels to be off by 20% in either direction. Right. So you get a fucking bar or something, and it says 10 grams of protein. Legally, it might be fucking 12. It might be 8. You don't know, because they're allowed to be off by 20%. So, hey, let's just make up for that 20% by overshooting it and doing 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And there's a few advantages to this. One, you'll be able to maintain more muscle. You'll be able to maintain more muscle when you're cutting, if you're in the caloric deficit, right? If you're in caloric surplus, you're trying to put on muscle, you'll be able to put on more muscle. Also, high protein decreases hunger, because high protein decreases hunger. So it's easier to stick to your diet if you're trying to cut, right? And higher protein preserve and higher protein will preserve more muscle and decrease hunger, right? So 1 gram protein per pound of body weight, right? In the free habit tracker that I gave you, right, you can actually put in how much protein you're getting each day, right? The next thing you need to do, the next habit that I use to stay lean, and this is what I use for the people I've trained thousands of people over the last 25 years, is to burn more calories throughout the day, right? So I rarely do dedicated cardio sessions anymore. I used to do them a lot when I was younger, but I rarely do dedicated cardio sessions. Even when I'm cutting, like, I'm all about burning more calories throughout the day. And what does that look like? So I'll do more walking, you know? I'll do more walking. Walking is one of my favorite forms of cardio, right? Walking. So that means, you know, if I need to go somewhere, I'll walk instead of driving or get an Uber. If it's walking distance and it's not too hot outside, I'll walk every time. Also, like when I'm out, when I'm hanging. I have I have a desk bike or dike, and I have multiple dikes in the house. And I'll work while I'm cycling on it, right? So I'll work on the dike, or I'll read on it, or even play games on the dike. Get the Nintendo Switch or my iPad mini play Call of Duty Mobile, right? But I'm on the dike pedaling while I'm doing this way. I burn more calories throughout the day. So sometimes there'll be days where I have multiple meetings, and most of my meetings are on Zoom, and I'll be on the bike for hours. But like I'm pedaling slowly, not enough where it's like affecting my breath, but that adds up. And this is how sometimes I'll end up burning 4,000 calories total that day because I've been pedaling basically all day. Right. But if you don't have a dike, you can just walk more, right? Take the stairs when you go places. You know, I think sometimes when I'm with my son, I'll make sure that when he's running around, I'm running around with him. I'm not one of these fat dads sitting down on the bench while the kids play. Nah, man, I'm getting it in. I'm chasing motherfuckers around. I'll take my son to the trampoline park, and I'll be like, nah, we need 2 pair of socks. It's about to go down. Them grip socks. And I'm bouncing around the trampoline park, chasing this motherfucking, man, I get on the dodgeball court, the dodgeball section. The fat dads is sitting down. I'm like, your dad's a bitch. Boom. Then I hit that kid in the motherfucking head with the dodgeball. He learned a little lesson about life. 1, his dad's a bitch. 2, not all dads are bitches. And 3, sometimes life comes at you fast. You got to stay aware, right? So I'm teaching I'm teaching your kids lessons because you fat, right? I'm raising your kids now, right? But I'm tracking how many calories I burn each day, right? Really getting it in, man. Take my son or my niece and nephew to the arcade. I'm running around with them. Don't be a fat dad. If you got kids, because sometimes people use their kids as an excuse. Man, I used to work out, but then I got kids and shit. Like I hear that shit. Sometimes I'll be in an Uber and I get an Uber. Man, what do you work out? And I'm like, no, nigga, I just look like this. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be like, yeah, man, I used to work out, but then got kids and shit. I'm like, motherfucker, you really blaming your inadequacies on your children. I hope your children never hear about you blaming your failures on them. You can use your kids to get in better shape, right? Kids want to run around and play and do fucking fun shit. Do it with them. I get on a scooter with my kid. We be riding, me and my son. He got a scooter. I got a scooter. We riding around. Scooting all over the neighborhood, getting it in. We jump, and that's a fun. I imagine I'm a more fun dad than the fat dad who can't do shit with his kid, teaching him to be fat. So anyway, you can also do shit. If you got a girlfriend or a wife, you can go on walks with your wife. Walk your wife outside, just like You go for a walk on your wife. You can have sex with your wife, right? And don't let her get on top, right? And she think you just excited to see her, but really using her vagina as an elliptical machine. Now you burning calories and improving your relationship. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. All right. Now, here's the next. So basically, find ways to burn calories throughout the day. If you do this right, you might not need dedicated cardio sessions. Like, I honestly, man, I rarely have a dedicated cardio session anymore because I'm just burning calories throughout the day. Whether I'm running around with my son, pedaling on a desk bike all day, or having unprotected interracial sex. The next thing you need to do, next habit, this is one of the most important ones. Stay away from sugar. Right? Every once in a while, motherfuckers say some shit to me like, man, yo, you ever eat candy or cakes? I'm like, what the fuck? Did you just call me a bitch? No, I'm an adult male. I do not eat candies and cakes. And I thought that was normal, but I found out recently that a lot of you men are out here eating candies and cakes, man. Shit is fucking insane. You need to stay away from sugar. Sugar is mad bad for you. It's okay if you're a woman or children. If you're women or children, y'all can eat women and children can eat candy and cake. It's cool. At my son's birthday party, I'm cutting cakes for the kids, you know. I'm cutting cakes. I didn't have none, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fucking child. But, you know, if everyone wants it, that's cool. Right. But you got to stay away from that shit because that shit makes you fat and it's really bad for you. So there's multiple reasons why sugar is bad for you in all forms. Right. Even natural sugar. Oh, natural sugar. No, that shit is bad for you, too. Sugar leads to energy crashes. Here's a study. This is not a good study. We'll find a different one. Study leads to energy crashes. It can lead to fatigue. This is not a good one either. Fuck. I gotta find this. I know what I did wrong. All right. Sugar leads to fatigue. And there's studies that show that it makes you tired and it's addictive. That's one of the most. You can eat sugar as long as you're in caloric deficit, you'll still lose fat. Yeah, I know, fucking nerd. But the problem is it's more difficult to stay in a caloric deficit when you're consuming sugar because tons of studies show that sugar is addictive. And there was a study done by Stanford University that said that sugar is as addictive as a lot of Class A narcotics. Right? So yeah, you can lose weight and still eat sugar, but it's going to be more difficult to be in a caloric deficit if you're eating sugar. Why are you making it more difficult than it needs to be? Right? Sugar increases. If you're going to, the only, I see it in the comments, the only sugar you should eat, the only form of sugar you can eat is if you eat whole fruits, not fruit juice, but whole fruits, because whole fruits have fiber inside of it that actually mitigates a lot of the effects, the negative ramifications of the sugar. But if you're drinking fruit juice, it's concentrated. It's concentrated sugar, and they throw out the best part of the fruit, which is the fiber, and it's just concentrated sugar. And make no mistake, the sugar molecule in fruit is the same molecule on a molecular level. It's the same molecule as table sugar. There's really no difference. But the difference when you're eating whole fruit, that's okay, because it has so much fiber, right? And you're typically not going to have as much, the concentration of fiber in fruit, in whole fruit, is not as much as juice. Juice is a scam. It's fucking bad for you, bro. All right. But whole fruit is fine. I'm on keto, and I even eat berries sometimes. Now berries are very low glycemic, but I eat berries almost every day because you can eat berries on keto, but it's low glycemic, right? Right. But actual sugar, it leads to the studies that show the sugar leads to depression. Like people who consume more sugar have higher rates of depression. People who consume more sugar have higher symptoms of anxiety and stress. Right? People who consume more sugar. Let me see if this is one of the studies. Don't put it on yet. Oh yeah. Hey, here you go. Right. Association between dietary sugar intake and depression. This is a big study that was done, you know? It's a huge link between dietary sugar consumption and depression, right? And sugar decreases cognitive functions. Here's a study that shows that impact of sugar on cognitive functions. It makes you fucking stupider. It impacts your intelligence in a negative fashion. All right. Hold on. One second. Oh, sugar. And here's the thing, man. Sometimes sugar increases the aging process because it increases the rate of cellular aging. Right. So basically, you're going to look older faster because your cells are aging faster when you consume sugar. Like, listen, man, I'll be 43 this year, but I probably look younger than most of you motherfuckers. One, because I ain't as fat as you, but also just because I don't consume sugar. I haven't eaten sugar in I don't remember the last time I had something with sugar in it. It might have been 2 years ago. My last cheat day was about 2 years ago. And I only had 2 cheat days that whole year. I've been keto for like 8 years, But also, sometimes people ask me, man, Brandon, what's your skin routine? Nothing, nigga. It's diet. Like one of the main reasons, if you struggle with acne, you need to stop eating sugar. There's tons of studies that show that. So there's tons of, here's a study. It's one, you got to read this whole study, but tons of studies that show that sugar impacts acne negatively, right? And when people cut sugar out of their diet, their skins just clear up. The skin just clear up. Why? Because it's a hormone thing. It's a hormone. Your skin is an organ. So what you put in your body, is going to affect your organs, and one of them is your skin. Listen, sugar is just fucking bad. You need to really stay away from that shit. I have a whole video on sugar. You can go watch that now if you want more deep dive into it. But it's really fucking bad for you, right? The only sugar that's acceptable is sugar from whole fruits, not juice. Juice is bullshit. Juice is a scam. Juice has tons of fucking calories and tons of concentrated sugar. You don't need that shit. If you're going to eat sugar, it should only come from whole fruits. All right. Hey, matter of fact, you need to watch that video on sugar right now because you probably fucking your whole shit up. All right. Let's go. All right. Well, I think we got some super chats.
We have Leo with a comment when you went to the bathroom. When Unc goes to the bathroom break randomly, that's how you know it's live.
And man, mucho agua para hombre fuertes. What else we got?
We also have Leo with $5. #.repellent.
Shout out to you, player.
And we have VM Muscle. In my 20s, if you went through your 20s again, would you stay single 1 date a week or be in a relationship, weekly dates? What's your thoughts?
I'd like to say I'd be in a relationship. That's the right thing to say, but but that might be me speaking from a position of privilege, right? Like, because I had enough experiences where like me, I don't feel like I'm missing nothing or I have to make up for old time. Sometimes guys, I've seen guys before, they're like, man, I missed out. I should have fucked more bitches or some shit, and that's not anything you'll ever hear me have to say. So I'm cognizant of that. If I fuck it. If I could do it again, I would. If I would do it all again, I would. Okay, here's the right answer. I don't know if I would have been mature enough to make a decision in my 20s. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I was mature enough then, but the right answer is chase victory, not women. Women come with victory, right? Like here's the thing: when you chase women instead of victory, it's the equivalent of trying to get a trophy instead of trying to win the championship, right? The trophy comes with the championship. You get what I'm saying? It's the same with women. If you chase victory in life, women will be there. I promise you. There will be tons of women at the finish line waiting to see who crosses. And guess what? They're usually better women than the fucking bitches outside of the arena smoking dope. You know what I'm saying? Right? So yeah, the real answer is chase victory, not women, because women come with victory. And they're usually, and here's the thing, champions can typically have better access. In my experience, champions have better access to all things when they're champions than when they weren't, So yeah, delayed gratification is always the right answer. I don't know if I'd been mature enough to take that advice at my 20s though. What else we got? That's it. All right. Hey guys, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go live tomorrow in my other office, and I'm just going to answer questions. It's just going to be questions. And I think I'm going to do it at 6 tomorrow. All right. I'll holler at y'all.